What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Vusimax back at it with another one again, right? So, drum roll. Today's analysis video is quite an important one, guys. Right? You guys don't understand how long I've waited for this pair to get to where it's at right now, so I can share it with you. It's not like I didn't see all the comments that you posted or y'all posted, and as well as the messages that y'all sent to me directly requesting the NAS100 or the NASDAQ analysis, right? So first things first, guys, I'm not gonna share an analysis just because the people request to see that specific thing or whatever. I'm only gonna share an analysis when I see a pair or an index or whatever tick all the boxes that I would otherwise have in my own watch list or something like that before I can share it with you guys, right? So that's why I'm saying this required a lot of patience on my side, and finally I'm glad that it's at where it's been. I'm glad that it's at where it's at right now, so I can give you guys this quick opportunity, right? So thank you for everybody that's subscribed to the channel. If you're tuning in, like, leave a comment, let me know what you're thinking, and let's jump into this one. I don't want to keep this one too long. I want you guys to get this opportunity and make the most you can out of this one, right? So remember, the NAS100 is an index, and thus it has a higher volatility than the forex currency pairs, right? So just make sure if you're trading it with the JP markets, size your position accordingly, right? If you're trading with the XM, it's gonna be under US 100 cash, like I have right now. I'm trading it with the XM markets, right? So in the XM markets, also scale your positions properly, guys, right? I think I'm talking to professional traders here. So let's jump into it. So as you can see, guys, I opened a sell trade where the market is at right now, and my aim for this analysis is to explain to you guys exactly what's going on, right? So I want us to jump to the daily chart, right? Let's jump into the daily chart. If you can notice that the daily chart, if you watched the previous analysis video, which if you didn't watch it, it's fine, because we're just gonna run through the analysis one time, right? So I'll tell you guys, when it comes to trend lines, you want to use the first high and the first low and the second low. My bad, guys. All right. guys, focus. We're using the first low, the lowest low, and the second low. So this is the first one, this is the second one. So you'll notice that if we draw our trend line using the first and the second low like that, when we move it like this to align into the current price, it's chopping off most of the movement that the candlesticks made, for example here and also here. So we don't have the cleanest trend line that we have. So what we can do is we can go from using this as 1 and this as 2 to using the second low as the first one. So our trend line is going to start here now instead of starting there, right? So just follow me, guys. So our first high becomes this one, and our second high becomes this one here, right? So what's gonna end up happening is when we draw the trend line, we're gonna join it from there and there, right? So we have 1 and 2. So the only thing that's left now is to align it to the current price, which means just drag this line here and bring it as close to this candlesticks as you can, right? So just move it the way it is, like that, bam, right? So you'll end up seeing that what we did end up finding is confluence for this third low. So meaning our trend line is exactly where it's supposed to be, because the candlestick made contact with this trend line here, right? So if you understand this part, in the previous analysis video, I explained to you guys that we was expecting this area here for the price to start tanking up because of the trend line that we previously drawn, right? So this is the updated version. So I want to show you guys something. If we look at the high, the first high, if we're using this as the first low and this is the second low, That means our first high is this one and the second high is this one. So if we draw a trend line from there to there, I want to show you something magical happening, guys. Right? Focus. So we use the first high and the second high like that, right? So once it's like that, all we have to do is to move the trend line the way it is and align it to the current price and watch what happens. You see, guys, now you see. So we end up having an ascending channel, right? Which is basically what it means is the trend line at the highs and the trend line at the lows are both in the same, going in the same direction, which is upwards, right? So this is overall going upwards, but it also helps us because now we know that the price is gonna bounce between the lower trend line and also the trend line at the top, right? So the price goes from the top to the bottom, to the top to the bottom, and at this point, this is a daily chart. So at this point, the price reached the maximum it could ever go. On in yesterday's candle, which was what I was waiting for before I could post this analysis video, I wanted to see the candlestick close of yesterday's daily close, right? And if you can see, it did go above, as the wick is indicating here, the price did go above the trend line, but by the end of the day, the candlestick close was way below the trend line. So what now this is telling us is that this is back within the ascending trend line, the ascending channel. So by the law of the ascending channel, we know that this is gonna come back where? This has to come back somewhere at this region here, right? You might not know, yeah, so it's gonna definitely come back at this region here, but sometimes it's not always guaranteed that this is gonna come back here. So what you guys can do is, because this is a daily chart, this is gonna be a swing trade, meaning the trade isn't gonna be a short-term trade. It might take up to days, right? So what you guys do, how you trade this, is you put a TP. Obviously you're gonna sell and you're gonna put a TP at the midpoint of this point until there. So the midpoint is going to be somewhere there. So you put the TP somewhere here, right? Which is the previous resistance here also. So if you can put your TP here for TP1 and let the other trade go without a TP, then you're going to realize that here you're going to secure the profit. And if the price does continue going down, then the other trade will continue running as such, right? So how do we trade this now? Knowing what you know, guys, now, how do we trade this, right? So what we had happening in the previous couple of days was a reversal that we saw here. So all these candlesticks were reversal because this was an uptrend. So this was a reversal, and when it crossed here, this was back to the movement of the trend, right? And although this didn't go back to make a higher high, right, which was expected, it made more than it crossed, I would say. It covered more than half the distance it was supposed to go if it was supposed to like reach anywhere at the higher or at the top trend line. It reached the midpoint. So this is why we use the I'm telling you guys to use the midpoint as a TP1, right? Because it's definitely gonna get to the midpoint, right? And at the same time, so the profits were secured here, and then we saw the price go back to the lower trend line, right? But it didn't make a lower low. It just kind of like rejected to go below the trend line, and thus it went back up again. So we had another reversal here, so to speak, right? So our reversal now, it looks somewhat like this, right? It looks somewhat like this, and you would have gotten a clear entry in the lower time frame, in the H4 time frame, for example, which is what I recommend for most of my students, right? So let's forget about this one now, right? And let's also forget about this one. So now, how do we trade what's happening right now, guys? So this is what we're gonna do, right? We're gonna go into the H4, which is the 4-hour time frame, right? And then we are gonna draw a trend line from there to there, right? So this is what I want you to do. I want you to join this low and also this low there. Let me just remove this thing. I want you guys to join this low and also this low here and have this trend line. It's a counter trend line, right? So once you have this trend line, you guys are gonna wait for the price to cross, for the candlestick to cross and close below this trend line. Once it does, you know that the standard procedure is to use the recent high as a SL, and you're gonna use the midpoint as a highlighted in the daily chart, which is here as TP1, and TP2 you're gonna keep it somewhere around this zone here, and then you're gonna keep an eye as it goes, right? So the thing about this trade, why I'm saying it checks out my boxes, is because right now when you're entering this trade, guys, the SL, you're putting it at a recent high, which is there, and the TP, we're putting it all the way here and another one all the way down there to all the way to 790, right around that zone there. So the risk to reward ratio of this chart, guys, is a no-brainer, right? I tell you guys that for a good trade, like, we don't go looking for good trades, they actually come to you. This was one of those cases where it actually came to me. I wasn't like, because we all know the NAS100 or the Nasdaq is kind of like trending right now. Everybody wants to trade it. Everybody's like doing the most in it, right? But if your system isn't really showing you anything at the moment, you shouldn't just go into it because other traders are doing that and follow like what other people are doing. Stick to your own trading plan. And this is what I like about this. Like, we trading within our rules and not what anybody else said. So we're in control of this situation, right? So this NAS100 is definitely a sell, guys, right? It's definitely a sell. It's a low risk to high reward trade, right? And if you want to pick out an entry, I just showed you in the H4 time frame. Just try to emulate what I just did out here and see if it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, just implement the knowledge I'm dropping here within your own strategy. And if you want to learn how to trade Forex, you can definitely hit me up, because I do have students who are successful and doing the most with what I'm teaching them, right? Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. I'm definitely going to see you on the next one, guys. Have a successful trading week. Peace out.